defensive end, and that's always key for us because that's where we've struggled in the past. Because it gets exhausting when you're constantly taking the ball out the rack, out off the hoop. Excuse me. So I think we did well on the defensive end, and then it got us open looks and easy like in rhythm shots on the offensive boards and on the offensive side. So we just took what the defense was giving us, and then we kind of went from there.
You guys were plus 11 on the glass too. Obviously, you had the huge rebounding game. How important is that going to be for you just because you guys try to chase another championship?
Huge. And obviously, I think teams watch our scout and they see that we're very poor in that way. So sometimes they're going to send a lot of people to the glass and challenge us there. So if we can get these rebounds as much as we can and be a plus on that end, it's going to help us out in the long run a lot because it's somewhere that we're not the best in. But that's just a want factor. No one can teach you how to rebound the basketball like that. You just have to want to go get it. So I think we're slowly starting to get our want factor for that type of yeah, I mean, we got Jackie getting 6. Like, we're getting our guards involved as well, which is so big. So, yeah, I think that's going to be good for us later on down the stretch.
Go ahead. Did you have something?
Oh, no, sorry.
Okay.
No, I'm saying.
All right, Terrell, and then Callie.
Asia, at various points last season, we kind of talked to you about finding that zone, whether it was 20-point stretches, whether it was the 50-point game. And you said you were still waiting for that out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
Just considering with the way that this season has gone for you so far, are you still in search of one of those moments?
Yeah, I want the moments like in the movies, like when vision gets blurry and it's just like me in the hoop. I'm waiting on that because I have definitely not had that. But I'm honestly just so grateful that the preparation that I put in the off season is coming into fruition. Is that a word? Fruition? Yes. Now, I promise you I got a degree in South Carolina. But no, it's coming to life, and that's what I'm very proud of. I mean, the points and then the rebounds are going to come. Yeah, they're going to go too. But am I doing what I need to do to help my teammates get a win? That's my biggest thing. How can I be productive on both sides of the basketball? So I don't think I've had my out-of-body experience yet, but it'll be cool if I had one.
I can't wait for that night.
I know, right? That's what I'm just saying. But no, I just honestly just take what the defense gives me and I just have fun in it.
Asia, 2 for you, if that's okay. Yep. When you sat down with Carolyn and Krista for that post-game interview, you took like this kind of shaky exhale breath. What are the words behind a breath like that? It's not like it wasn't a close win. You were dominant, but that breath, that exhale that you took seemed kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it.
Games stress me out. So like, I feel like and especially early games, because I don't have all day to decompress and like get ready for it. So early, it's like you wake up and you're like, all right, time to go on the basketball court. And that's a lot. And so for me, when I have those moments to just like exhale and just be in the moment and reflect on what just happened, whether it's a win, whether it's a loss, whatever, those are the moments that I hold on the most because they don't come by often during the season because I'm constantly thinking about 10 other minds in my locker room or Becky and everyone around. So when I'm in that moment and I can just kind of excel in it and stay in the moment, I don't take those for granted at all. So it wasn't like a drag exhale. It's more so just like, I'm at peace. We did his thing. And now we're ready to go home.
Got it. Thank you. And then secondly, so you joined Candace Parker tonight as the only players in WNBA history with the 40-50 game, like 40 points, 15 rebounds. And I know normally those kind of niche stats don't matter much to you, but when it's somebody like Candace Parker, who I know you admire so much, does it count a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm trying to boot Candace out these record books. No. I mean, it just goes like, Candace is everywhere, man. I feel like I see her like every time you're in something, it's like last person, Candace Parker. And like when you're talking about greatness, that's Candace in my eyes. And I've just been so grateful, honestly, to call her my teammate. So when I see my name up there alongside hers, I feel like I'm on the right path. Because if I can have just the half a career that Candace has had and the way that she just kind of grew with the game and always brought something back different. When people counted her out, she always showed up and was like just reminding people who she was. Like when I see my name up with hers, I'm like, all right, I'm doing something right, God. Thank you. So I'm just going to continue to be on this path. And yeah, we're just going to see where this goes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Matthew and then Janetta.
Hey, Asia, I wanted to ask, I know the other day, Callie asked you about your white t-shirts, and I wanted to know, since you started wearing them, and you talked a little about just like not having to think about what you're wearing to the game, have you felt like in these last couple games that you've been wearing them, your mindset has changed, or there's been something new or different since you started going to the white t-shirts, or is it just, you're like, I'm trying to get rid of this extra stuff and be myself?
Yeah, I feel like just a chunk of my mind is not worried like, oh, is my heel gonna break? Oh, am I gonna trip in my heel? Oh, is this gonna happen? Like wardrobe malfunction while I'm walking for 10 seconds. Like I feel like people don't now my mind is like I don't have to think about that anymore. So I really just show up and Sunny here just drags my bag and I'm just literally showing up for work. That's it. And so does my mindset change? Not as much when it comes to approaching the game, but just not putting on clothes. Yeah, that's always a good feeling. I'm a cozy girl, so if I ain't got to put on nothing, I don't put on nothing.
What? This conversation took a turn.
Because I don't put on like.
Okay,
outfits.
I feel like you should stop talking. Donetta, you think you can follow that?
Asia, you kind of answered it right there. I was going to say, you're carrying a very heavy load. Do you kind of feel like that mentally, that you are carrying a heavy load? Do you feel overwhelmed at all?
No, not really. I get to play basketball. Like that's my sanctuary. That's my peace. So if I'm stressed out in my sanctuary, oh my God, we got bigger plans and bigger problems. So yeah, no, I don't really take a mental toll on a lot of things because at the end of the day, it's a game. And if I can just have fun within that and seeing my teammates celebrate and be happy, I can't really harp on my mental side. But my mental toughness has increased. I've definitely been mentally tough because a lot of these games I feel like I would have folded if I wasn't mentally tough. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, no, I get to play basketball, so I'm happy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Becky, you guys forced them to a lot of turnovers during the transition points in the first half. What do you like in terms of that aspect? What do you guys think?
Just the activity, the physicality. Our defense, that's two really good defensive efforts in a row for us, which that's really what we're just looking for is that consistent effort on the defensive end. And we know, we're going to make shots on any given night, but the one thing that can always travel with you is the defense. So it's something that I've really challenged them on. And, they're really digging in at the end of the day and playing that end of the floor. And we kind of know, we know what the deal is, our defense has to give us a chance to win games. And I think their lock-in factor, just possession by possession, has been really good these last 2 days, meaning they're present, active in every possession. Every possession was hard for them. And that's really what we're looking for. Don't foul, move your feet, but just make it hard and make them make shots. We just want to stay solid.
And then to be plus 11 on the glass too, just that's an area I read that you guys are looking to stay improved on, keep working.
Yeah, I mean, because you're just not, you might win a game or two, but you're not winning any kind of championships or big games if you don't rebound. So it's been a focus for us. And it will always be a point of emphasis for us to rebound the ball. I mean, you do all that great defensive work and give it right back to them on an O board. It's such a vibe killer. It's deflating. We're much better when we get that board and then we're off to the races. Callie, go ahead.
Hi, two for you. First, with the early substitutions, like with Jackie, you kind of subbed her out pretty early for Tiffany Hayes. Can you kind of talk about, I guess, what you were seeing that was leading you to kind of go in and out pretty quickly?
Well, I thought they were hurt. Jackie was limping and like breathing really heavy a couple times. That's why Tip came in. I thought Jackie needed one. And then when Jackie was like, no, I'm fine, I put her right back. I mean, that's all that was.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And then just that third quarter, I think there have been times this season where, the Aces struggle in the third, but they're not really able to rebound. And this was a time where, the Mercury tried to kind of make a run at you guys in the third, but you recovered pretty well. Do you agree with that? Or what were your, I guess, takeaways from the third quarter?
I mean, I thought it's really hard when, to take a punch from a team. They're on their home court. They got a lot of pride. They got a lot of really skilled basketball players over in that other locker room. Like they're not going to go away. You got to expect a punch back. They gave us a great punch. I thought they got more physical. I thought they got some calls. I just felt like some things kind of went their way in the third quarter. Now, that being said, we were able to kind of buckle down and get some stops. I thought, the one thing about their zone, it made us slow down, So in a game that you have that big of a lead, they're playing a zone. It kind of made us move the ball, and it slowed the game down a little bit, which was good for us in some ways, because they weren't able to speed the game up defensively, being in the man-to-man and then just like speeding us up in different spots, and then they're off to the races. It made us really be disciplined on the offensive end with moving the ball, cutting, sharing it. Not that it didn't give us some problems at times. The zone certainly did, especially with no Chelsea out there who can really, dissect where people are. I thought Jack was great stepping in, but you got to stay sturdy, and eventually, we stopped the bleeding. But again, they're not, like I said, they're not going to go away. You got to expect to hit like that. Really hard to beat a quality team by 35 points. Like it's a little bit of you're playing perfect. Well, and maybe they're making mistakes. They're not going to, eventually they're going to hit shots. Like they're just good players. So, at the end of the day, I was glad it just never got into that like under 10 range.
Kevin, if you can keep your question short, you can end up after Matthew. Matthew, go ahead.
Hey, Becky, I have one quick and one longer one. Do you have an update on Chelsea and what her status is at this moment?
I do not.
Okay. And then secondly, what did you think of Jackie tonight coming off the game of rest you gave her the other day, and how you said you thought early she looked winded, but overall of her performance, what did you think after giving her the day off?
Well, what's interesting is first I thought she played the defensive end, right? And I think her offensively, she just kind of went with the flow. She was taking whatever was given to her. They put Ka on her, which means they have a lot of respect for her offensively. And Jackie just made the right read. And I think, one thing that we always talk about Chelsea's mind for the game. Jackie doesn't talk as much, but she is crazy smart. So, whichever one of those, Chelsea or Jackie, that has the ball, you feel really good about their mind and their feel for the game. And probably Jackie's, underrated passer. And I think you saw that tonight on a night where maybe she didn't feel she had that burst, because she had sat out and didn't maybe feel that rhythm offensively. She just dissected people with the pass, and that's a really special combination to have. I mean, she's kind of unique in that area.
And then Kevin, if you can make it quick, we'll close it out.
Yes, thank you. The last time we had a conversation, you talked about your team's lack of effort. How would you assess your team's effort in these past 2 games, Coach?
Good. Love the effort. Especially the effort on the defensive end. Just super locked in with the possession by possession mentality. It starts individually, like stop your man, obey our basketball rules defensively. As I said, if we just become more solid if we just stay solid in our non-negotiables defensively. So we have some core principles, things that we do and things we do not do. And if we just do that, I was telling them we're going to shave off 20 to 25 points off just, things that we can control and us being solid in what we're doing. And I think at the end of the day, when you're solid, just be solid. You don't have to try to hit home runs, not offensively and not defensively. Take your natural swing on both ends, and then the home runs will naturally happen.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Hold on. Matthew, hold on 1 second.
Hey, Jack, congrats on the win. I was wondering, I know you are someone who wants to play all the time, but sitting out last game, how do you feel like that helped you for both the rest of the season and going into today's matchup? And how do you feel now after having sat out and played today?
Yeah, I feel good. Excited to be back on the court. I hate missing games, but we got the win today, and that's all that matters. Just trying to take it one game at a time and put together a full 40 minutes and execute the game plan.
Kelly.
Hey, Jackie, two for you, if that's okay. Becky mentioned that early she was worried that maybe you were hurt. What were you kind of feeling out there in just those first couple minutes that the game started?
Oh, yeah, it was just a little tweak, but I'm all right.
And then secondly, your assists today, 14, are tied for most in Aces history. And then it's a career high for you. I know that like early in the season, you found yourself trying to fill a gap, I guess, that Chelsea Gray left. Do you feel more comfortable, I guess, in that position now, having to facilitate the offense and get the ball where it needs to go?
Yeah, I was able to get some reps at point guard whenever Chelsea was out, so that made me a little bit more comfortable just having the ball in my hands a lot more. And then obviously today she went out, and so the ball was in my hands a lot more. And then, A was going crazy, so I think a lot of my assists were to her. But yeah, just trying to get my teammates the ball on time, on target, and so I'm just trying to make the right play, make the right reads.
Thank you.
Seeing no more hands up, we will let Jackie go. Thank you very much, Jackie.